happy Valentine's Day. So after last week's drama with finding a new Black Stars head coach, we finally got one in Otto Addo on the interim basis. He will take hold in charge of the Ghana Black Stars until after the Nigeria Super Eagles game. But he has met with his technical advisor, which is Chris Hughton, the man who was the front runner for the role. He has met with him and deliberations have been had between the two parties. We'll see what they discussed and how things will be going forward. We'll also talk about rejoining the Ghana Black Stars. His performances were crowd to have got some people talking. Should he be in the squad again? We'll be exploring that news also today as usual. Subscribe if you have not. Click on the notification bell to get more updates. So we'll start off from the camp of the Ghana Black Stars and the coaching staff. But before then, I saw this article on Twitter and it was quite interesting. The Zambian national team that made history in 2012, winning them their very first AFCON, have not been paid their allowances 10 years on, which is quite weird to me. Interesting there. If it were here, I don't think the players will play again. It's quite shocking that they've not been paid allowances and it's only coming to light now. It's quite unfortunate if true. We'll see. I'll explore that story and get more details on that front. But Chris Hughton and Otto Addo have met already. They met in London on Thursday. The two met to discuss the way forward for the Ghana Black Stars in terms of the World Cup qualifiers versus Nigeria in March. They also met in relation to talking to some players. It's been reported that they have met with Sellssi Muhammad. You know the story of Mohamed Salisu, who has decided not to play for the Ghana Black Stars. Club career is his focus at the moment, and it's been rumored that Mohamed Salisu could be lured by Chris Hughton and Otto Addo. Otto left Germany to meet with Hughton on Thursday, and according to reports, the discussion was fruitful. Now, Otto, who works with Dortmund, flew from base to join Hughton and George Boateng in London for the meeting. Now, according to reports, both Otto Addo and George Boateng respect Hughton's pedigree and expressed their readiness and preparedness to work with former Newcastle and Brighton manager. Addo, who is a former Ghanaian international, was impressed with the football ideologies of Hughton after the meeting. Meanwhile, Masoud Didi Dramani, another assistant in the interim, was aware and he was briefed on the meeting, even though he could not join them. All four coaches are on the same wavelength in terms of what each would contribute and what the team needs to scale the Nigeria hurdle in March. The announcement was made that these will be the men leading the charges for the Ghana Black Stars, and it is also being rumored that Chris Hughton might take over fully, but the communications director Henry Asante said there are no assurances here. When the qualifiers are over, they will sit down and discuss once again who will take over the helm for the Ghana Black Stars. So no assurances for anyone whatsoever. Right now, this is the interim that we are working with, and Otto Addo is the head coach in the interim. As you can see, the meeting was fruitful. They've already held talks with Callum Hudson-Odoi's family, that's Chris Hughton himself. There are calls that other players will be contacted, including Tariq Lamptey and Mohamed Salisu. He will be contacted and discussions will be held. In the match versus Manchester United, Southampton, it's reported that some discussions were held, but details of those discussions are not yet brought to light. Hopefully it goes well for them. My next story out of the remaining months that is yet to be paid him. Remember, he has been paid 9 months. 2 months is ready. So it looks like that's the payment plan for him. 2 months, he'll be paid until they consume or they finish paying him the remainder of the months that are left. Unfortunate on the front of CK Akono. This, I don't know why it keeps happening, especially with our local coaches, but hopefully he gets his monies and we can let that chapter close pretty nicely. My next story has to do with the game another World Cup qualifier game between Senegal and Egypt. Yeah, remember the two squared off in the final of the African Cup of Nations, Senegal and Egypt. Well, Senegal and Egypt will face off once again. As I said, that was part 1. There's part 2 and part 3. And in Egypt, when that game is played, it will be played with 50,000 fans in the stadium. It has been approved and they will allow 50,000 fans into the stadium. Hope we'll be allowed more fans here as well for that Nigeria game. No news on the number of spectators that will be allowed, but this mammoth game between two giants who squared up in the final will have a ruckus, a crowd that you can be assured of. My final story has to do with the talks for Sulley Muntari to rejoin the Ghana Black Stars. After his blistering start to life in Accra Heartfolk, unfortunate to be involved in a loss on his debut for Accra Heartfolk, he did make a start for Accra Heartfolk versus RTU, and that got a lot of people talking. He still has it. He hasn't lost a match. He still looks quite fit, but many people are saying that Sulley should get in a bit more shape and he could be in contention to be playing for the Ghana Black Stars. I have to say, I do not disagree with this assertion coming out from the public. I think Sulley Muntari still has it. At the age of 37, I did not expect him to be able to play 79 minutes of football. He did that versus RTU on Sunday, and if anything, he can be an experienced head in the Black Stars midfield. Not saying he should be called up, but should the coach decide that he needs someone like that, Sulley could prove a precious gem. Not even in terms of playing at all. He could be in there motivating players, teaching the young one the ropes, and sort of needed experienced head in the team right now. A lot of them in the squad right now are quite young, and having an older head and experienced man like Sulley Muntari in there could go a long way to help them. What do you think about it? Sulley Muntari to Black Stars? What are your thoughts? So that has been it for today. Chris Hughton, Otto Addo, and George Boateng have met. They are on the same page in terms of how to go forward with the Black Stars ahead of the World Cup qualifier game versus Nigeria. CK Akono's payment plan revealed. 2-month salary available now to him. More months to be paid him before he's paid off. He was thinking of getting a full compensation. Also, we've been talking about the 50,000 fans that will be allowed in the Senegal versus Egypt game, and then also Sulley Muntari return to the Black Stars. What do you think about it? I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the week.